Hi, I'm Mike, owner of the In-Groove in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I'm doing the new arrival video for June 19th, 2026, and it is an absolute packed to the brim. It was in 2 rows, but I figured I'd just jam it all in there to get it in one overstuffed row. But there's an immense amount of cool stuff to show you guys this week. A lot of audiophile stuff. A couple of pre-orders I wanted to talk about this week. Starting with, I know a lot of people have been emailing me about the Mobile Fidelity Van Halen 1984 One Step. I'm going to have that probably later on today or tomorrow. So I should have it this week. It is on its way, barring any shipping fiascos. I will have it. The SACD, I've talked about this online as well, has been recalled and they are redoing the SACD. That's going to be about 8 to 10 weeks. Okay, so pre-orders. I think this is the coolest one. It is the new Johnny Marr album, The Age of Everything. They are offering an indie exclusive Johnny Marr LP, but what's cool about the indie exclusive on this one is it's autographed. I kind of laughed. I was chuckling with Bibian earlier today because you go to a Morrissey concert, it's like $400 and he signs a copy of David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust. Really bizarre. That is a thing. You go to a Morrissey concert, there was a time where he was signing other people's random records. Like, these are my favorites. And he was charging $400. But you can get Johnny Marr's new album with an autographed insert for like 20-something bucks. Maybe $30. Coming out October 2nd. So a cool pre-order. Marilyn Manson has another album coming up. One Assassination Under God, Chapter 2, coming out August 14th. They're doing a new deluxe edition of Fleetwood Mac's Greatest Hits. Fleetwood Mac's Greatest Hits was always a single disc LP. They are doing it as a 2-disc set, and it includes 10 bonus tracks. They're doing an indie and a black vinyl version. I think the indie is like a cream color vinyl. There is a new original source Deutsche Grammophon title coming out. It is a Wagner box set. Die Walker, which is Ride of the Valkyries, is on that box set. These are always super limited. I pretty much can never keep any Deutsche Grammophon titles in stock. They do 3,000-4,000 in that range. I'll show you guys. I got a few in this week's video. They're numbered on the back and then they go out of print. A couple of times they've done second editions that are not numbered, and even those have gone out of print. It's really bizarre. They should keep them in print. They haven't as of yet, but that is on the website for pre-order, coming out August 7th. Also, I have a Whatnot coming out, not this Sunday, which is Father's Day. I've got one coming out the following Sunday, which is going to be a audiophile show. It's one that I've had on there for months and months and months. We're finally firming up the date. It's going to be, what is that, the 28th? Sunday the 28th at 11 o'clock Arizona time. There's a bunch of great stuff in there and stuff I have to add. Like, I've got a Dark Side of the Moon UHQR, original Mobile Fidelity UHQR that's getting added to that. A lot of great stuff coming. Okay, this week's pre-orders, or excuse me, new arrivals. Starting with Ray Charles, What I Say from Analogue Productions. This is the SACD. Les McCann and Eddie Harris, Swiss Movement. Phenomenal record, always dug it. Compared to What? Killer tune. Steely Dan, Can't Buy a Thrill, and Asia. Both of these are restocks, but they are back in stock. New, oh, nope, restock. Restock of the UHQR of Exodus, Bob Marley. Restock of Bill Evans Trio's Waltz for Debbie. And Live at the Village Vanguard. Those are all restocks, but the SACDs are new. But I need to clear up some space. Okay, from Sam Records, all the way from France, and only stuck in customs for a little while, we've got the new Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers. This is pronounced the Femis Desperant. Oh yeah. 10-inch, originally on Fontana. I love Sam Records, one of my favorite labels. They do such a killer job. Beautiful photography, original flip back covers. They just really have knocked it out of the park with the titles they've released in the past. And these are, in almost all cases, studio albums or live albums that came about back in the day. You know, there's a lot of companies now that are specializing in finding old tapes and finding old records to do. This is not that. These are albums from back in the 50s, back in the 60s, this in this case originally 1959, that were studio albums or soundtracks. This looks like a soundtrack. I'm not familiar with this, so I'm looking forward to it. And they reissue them. Titles you would never, ever, ever see in this country because you just don't see original French Fontana pressings in the States. This is from the original master tapes, cut by Kevin Gray, pressed by Optimal in Journey. Double insert with photo. And the other one for this week is Thelonious Monk, piano solo. This is originally on Wing. Again, originally from 1954, you're just not seeing a lot of 1954 French Wing pressings out and about, well, anywhere. I go to Europe and you don't see those records. And this is a restock. This is a Elevator to the Gallows, Miles Davis, 10-inch, one of the first 10 inches that Sam Records did. I'm so thrilled I got this at a very reasonable time. This is the new 45 RPM Miles Davis Birth of the Blue. The 45 RPM cut. Nice. In stock, ready to go. Trying to make some space. That'll probably do it. The guitar artistry of Charlie Bird. Sorry, I had a brain fart there because I'm like, this is the new Riverside with the new updated double pocket tip-on jacket, not the single pockets. These are titles that Analogue Productions did way back in the day, 20 some odd years ago, and they're getting essentially, I don't know if these are represses or, yeah, dated 2005, but the brand new jacket, Wynton Kelly, Kelly Blue. Let's see, from Analogue Tone Factory, cut by Bernie Grauman, all analog, Jerome Saba, Stand Up. 2 versions of this. And this is kind of a cool thing, and I've been meaning to do this. I've talked about one-steps, because there's been a lot of talk about there. Kevin Gray has come out and said that one-steps are a scam. He's not a fan of them, but he's got the ability to, and has tested, you know, the same cut, mastering cut essentially as a one-step and as a 3-step process. And according to him and other people around him at the time, it was deemed the superior way to go as a 3-step. But I've never really had a way to tell that, you know what I mean? Because we either get a record as a 1-step or as a 3-step. This is cool because it actually comes as a 1-step or the traditional 3-step plating process. So at some point I'd love to listen to both of these and kind of see if I myself can hear a difference. All right, Blue Note Classic. This is Kenny Burrell's Blue Lights with that wonderful Andy Warhol cover. And what used to be one of the most expensive Blue Note, actually was the most expensive Blue Note album for many, many years. Now it's Tina Brooks' True Blue, but this is still very hard to find, very expensive if you get an original. Not going to sound as good as this. Hank Mobley Sextet, Blue Note 1568, still regularly a $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 record to find an original. And that's all analog, cut from tape by Kevin Gray. Bill Connors, A Mist of Mist and Melting. ECM Luminescence series, cut from the master tapes. From Chesky, this is a 1-step Chuck Mangione, Everything for Love. This is from Nonesuch, Jeff Parker and E.T. Vilta. Happy today? Nice tip-on jacket, has an obi. This looks like it could be pretty good. Live recording by the Lodge Room, Highland Park, Los Angeles. Live show from 2025. Loving the Verve Request series, excuse me, not Verve Request, marginal, hit or miss, Verve Request. Verve Vault series, which this is what that, you know, this is what we're looking at here, Verve Vault. All titles cut from original analog tapes by Ryan K. Smith. The Verve Vault, Ryan did some of them, but some of them weren't done by Ryan. Some of them sounded great, some of them sounded terrible. But the Verve Vault stuff has been so good, as have these. This is a John Lee Hooker, The Real Folk Blues. This is part of the Chess Records Acoustic Sounds series. Most of these have been cut from, you know, analog tapes. There's been a couple that have been digital, but for the most part, they are getting the analog treatment. And if you're out there buying Chess records, well, if you can even find Chess records, manufactured back in the day were terrible. They were low quality productions. They never sounded great to begin with. So being able to get analog cuts of some of these titles that are impossible to find in any condition, let alone good condition, even when you find them in good condition. Like a VG Plus chess record sounds like you're dragging your stylus, across the freeway. It's just terrible. So this has been a nice welcome addition. Buddy Guy, I Was Walking Through the Woods. Again, another Chess Records Acoustic Sound Series title. Joe Bonamassa, The Spirit of Rory, live from Cork. Make some more space. Now, again, I was talking about earlier how the Deutsche Grammophon titles are so difficult to get, and you should get them while you can. Well, these kind of fall into the same concept. This is the Decca Pure Analog, done very similar to the Deutsche Grammophon by Sidney Meyer, who was a protege of Kevin Gray. Let's see. From the original quadraphonic half-inch 4-track tape. So essentially kind of the same concept of how they're doing the Deutsche Grammophon titles. Deutsche Grammophon, they're taking the 4 tracks, they're making more than likely a new 2-track. And yeah, cutting from that. This is Dvorak, Symphony No. 9 from the New World. Hand numbered, this is 2127 of 3,650. And so far they haven't done a second run of any of these. And all the ones that have come out so far, I'm sold out of, and I'm pretty sure everybody is. 3,500 of Richard Strauss, an Alpine Symphony. Weird how they all have slightly different numbers. That was 3,500. This is 3,400. So we got one to 3,500, one to 3,400, and one to 3,650. What the hell's going on there? Edgar Varset. The Los Angeles Philharmonic Orchestra, Zubin Mehta. Looks like there's 4 of them this week. And another pure analog title, Decca Pure Analog. Mahler Symphony No. 5. This is a double, limited to 3,600. So they truly, all 4 have a different quantity. So 3,600 people are not going to be able to all own this series of 4 simultaneously because one only came out to 3,400. I don't know what the thinking is there. If you work for Decca, please go ahead and leave in the comments below what the hell's going on. All right, Mahler Symphony No. 4. This is a Deutsche Grammophon original source title, limited to 4,000. Well, they've upped the number a little bit on them just because they know they've been selling really well. It's bizarre. People faux pas classical. Stores do it. You go to a record store, they don't ever have classical. I got a wonderful classical section over there. Most people's classical selection when you go into a record store is like Time Life box sets. It's tough to find a good classical selection. But classical sells, man. These are prime examples. You do it right, they move. Pure analog mix cut from the original 1-inch 8-track tapes. Beethoven's String Quartet 131 by the Vienna Philharmonic. Leonard Bernstein conducting, limited to 4,000, number 812 of 4,000. Gustav Mahler, Symphony No. 5 by Andres Nelsons. Normal Deutsche Grammophon title. This came late. I think it was supposed to be last week, but we've got it this week. This is Audioslave, Out of Exile. Finally back on vinyl. Don't know if this has been repressed since it came out in 2005. I know those were quite expensive. I had one in the store a few years back. It was like $400 record. Mike Oldfield, Tubular Bells, / the soundtrack to The Exorcist. Great, great record. Give it a listen if you've never heard it. Every time I look at this, my brain goes, the mandolin. And if you're familiar with the record, you know what I'm talking about. Olivia Rodrigo, You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love. Let's see, the 30th anniversary version of Placebo's debut album, Recreated, by Brian Mollico and Rob Kerwin from the original master tapes. This is a white 12-inch vinyl record with a bonus white 7-inch. Blue October, foiled. This is part, really clever cover. They took a aluminum foil, sheet and balled it up. This is a Record Store Day Essential title on blue vinyl. Shinedown. 8. Evergreen double vinyl. Escape the Fate. There's no sympathy for the dead. This is a color version on what looks like ruby red vinyl. Dirty Blonde. Indie retail exclusive from Bowie Rexa. This is the alternative art cover pressed on platinum vinyl. This is, I think this was a original Record Store Day UK title, if I'm not mistaken. This is Mr. Big. Hey man, 30th anniversary edition, but this is a one-step pressing. Number to 3,000. Dirty Heads, 7 C's on Palisades blue marble vinyl. From Music on Vinyl, we have Thomas Dolby, The Flat Earth, limited edition of 750 individually numbered copies on silver colored vinyl. This is number 208. Graham Coxon, The Sky is Too High. This is an indie exclusive marble vinyl. Graham Coxon, The Golden D. On indie red vinyl. And Graham Coxon, Castle Park on indie exclusive green vinyl. From Sub Pop, the loser edition, which is a first pressing, is Downtown Boys Public Luxury. First pressing, loser edition on colored vinyl. Doesn't say what the color is. Loser edition, that is Sub Pop's, rather than putting first pressing, they just put loser edition. It works though, it's unique to them. Jesse Wells, Hell's Wells on orange vinyl. Big Modern by Goose. This is the Big Cat edition, 2 LP, 180 gram vinyl with a 12-page lyric booklet. Dance Gavin Dance, Tree City Sessions, number 3. Let's see, Tori Kelly, God Must Really Love Me, 3-time Grammy Award winner on Epic. Let's see, Violet Grohl, Be Sweet to Me. Violet Grohl, is that Dave Grohl's kid? On Blueberry Jam vinyl. Maybe, I don't know. Can't be too many Grohls out there, can there? Supergrass, Don't Leave Me Alone, indie 12-inch EP on red and black Inkplosion Eco vinyl. What the hell is this? Jason Mraz sings Grandma's Gospel Favorites. My grandma asked me to make her a gospel album, so I did. Well, I mean, that's, you know, that's nice of him. That's the right thing to do. Can't tell grandma no. All right, Mono, Snowdrop on boysenberry colored vinyl. Boysenberry, nice. Let's see, Mexican Institute of Sound and... Tag's too small. Meridian Brothers. Okay. Mexican Institute of Sound and Meridian Brothers. Rubio Tolliver. If I screwed that particular title up, that's just because the title was so long, my tag printed it microscopic. Beck does a couple of features on here. Let's see, Luis Miguel, Miss Romances on Warner Music. Mana, Revolution de Amor on 45 RPM vinyl. Got a little 45 RPM hype sticker. Soda Stereo, MTV Unplugged. A lot of Spanish music. Chileno Sanchez. Hype sticker is in Spanish, so yeah. El Pavado Novato. Just Dennis Brown on Culture Factory, yeah, Culture Factory. This is a Japanese pressing, so this is a true Japanese insert of Michael Jackson, or excuse me, the Jackson 5, Maybe Tomorrow on light green vinyl. Yeah, so this is a true pressed in Japan Japanese pressing. Kaolini. This is self-titled on violet marble vinyl. And then this is an alternate cover, indie exclusive on violet color vinyl. Lizzo's Bitch. That's the name of the album. Lizzo Bitch. Indie exclusive copper black ice. Damn. She's looking skinny there. Well, I mean, she's lost a lot of weight. Copper black ice vinyl. Hey, about time this is on vinyl. I get asked for this record all the time. It's so hard to find. I think it came out in '88. Yeah, so it's a late, late '80s record, not super common. But Anita Baker giving you the best that I got on Elektra. Air, Pocket Symphony, original double vinyl, ultra clear limited edition. FKA Twigs, Eurosexua Afterglow, something along those lines. 1000 Homo DJs, Supernut on black, magenta, white, hazel splattered vinyl with a foil cover. This is a 12-inch Marilyn Manson, In the Air Tonight. Oh, this is him covering, I think, In the Air Tonight. Yeah, In the Air of the Night. That's written by Phil Collins. Oh, this could be good. Limited to only 5,000 copies. Nice. I want to hear his cover of In the Air Tonight. Wasp. Inside the Electric Circus. This is a UK clear vinyl exclusive. Dangerous Toys. Demolition. On clear and orange haze with black splatter vinyl. Another clear vinyl exclusive of Wasp, self-titled. These are imports out of the UK. Another Wasp title. This is Inside the Electric Circus. Wait a minute. It's just in here twice. Iron Maiden, Alive After Death. I think that's just a newer pressing. John Party. California Sunrise on Sunrise vinyl. 2 LP set. Kiefer Sutherland, Gray is the name of the album. Not the color of the record, but although the color might be gray, but the name of the album is Gray. Let's see, the Star Wars, I think this is the soundtrack to the movie The Mandalorian and Grogu. I saw the movie. I mean, it wasn't really a movie per se. It was more of like a really good, episode. But I enjoyed it, which is not always the case for modern Star Wars. Paddington the Musical, the original cast recording on red vinyl. The 20th anniversary of MF Doom's Food. Pressed on double black vinyl, includes a cased wrap tip-on jacket. Yeah, very nice jacket. Scarface, The Diary. This is the indie vinyl exclusive 2 LP set on red vinyl. Young Dolph, King of Memphis. The Muffs. Blonder and Blonder. Pressed on opaque red vinyl. From Omnivore Records. A couple of restocks here. From Sam Records, Mal Waldron, Paris, 1970. Sam Records title. Another great title. Bobby Jasper on Barclay. An absolute killer live album from Art Blakey. And again, this isn't a modern tape they had found. This is something that came out in the day. Originally from 1958. And it has a live version of Moanin' on here, which is super, super early. You know, that was kind of a really new track at the time. The Best of Judas Priest, which is not a restock. That's a new record. The Byrds, Fifth Dimension, limited to 1,500 copies on orange-colored vinyl. So we've got some new records and restocks mixed in here. The Voids, Like All Before You. Tony Rice from Kraft Records. This is a restock. And a couple of Analogue Productions restocks, starting with the recently departed Sonny Rollins Saxophone Colossus, considered, I don't know, this is probably considered his best record. Definitely of the earlier period. Not my favorite. Mine is Way Out West, but definitely a masterpiece. Bill Evans, Quintessence. This is the speed-corrected Miles Davis Kinda Blue at 45 RPM. No, this is at 33 with the bonus disc. Yeah. So it has the speed-corrected side 1 and 2. It has the original speed side 3 and the bonus track side 4. Restock of Lightning Hopkins, Going Away. Beautiful all analog cut from tape by Kevin Gray. And Steely Dan's Two Against Nature, the Analogue Productions version. All right, guys, that is it for this week's very large new arrival video. All this stuff can be purchased online at theingroove.com. Until next time.